What is up once again, my fellow bronies and Pegasisters? It's Bruno here at Equestria Uploads with my third installment of Pony FanFic readings. This one's a little suggestive, so it has a little, twist at the end that's kind of mature, I guess, but it's not that major. And it's by Soul Punisher, and it's called Sugar. Feel free to read along. The link to this story is in the description as usual, and here we go. It was an unusually cool summer day in Ponyville. Twilight Sparkle had just finished another chapter of another hefty book. Her eyes drooped with fatigue. She did enjoy studying, and sometimes reading for fun, but the purple pony needed a break. After so much reading and comprehending, she looked like a zombie, quote unquote, or so Spike said. The mare trotted up to her balcony, allowing the refreshing breeze to banish her grogginess and the sunlight to recharge her energy. After minutes of submitting to the clean air, the pony decided to spend the afternoon outside. Spike, her voice rang throughout the library. I'm going out. I'll be back soon. Twilight went for the door, for some kind of reply from the hoping for some kind of reply from the dragon, but only got a few steps before she heard a clash between pots and pans and a yell. Good enough. She briskly cantered out of her dwelling and embraced the same lovely air that teased her before. This was exactly what she needed. After minutes of walking, she noticed the Cutie Mark Crusaders behind what seemed to be a lemonade stand. As she approached, the older ponies saw unhappy faces on all three fillies, until they saw Twilight. Their expressions completely changed. They could not stop smiling and jumping up and down. Hi, Twilight, Apple Bloom nearly screamed. Hey, girls, she replied as a sided smile grew on her face. What are the Cutie Mark Crusaders up to this time? Nothing dangerous, I hope. Want to buy some Applenade? Scootaloo asked as she and the other two young fillies stopped bouncing. Applenade? Twilight questioned with hesitance. Yeah, it's like lemonade, but with apples. Apple Bloom got the apples for us. Damn it, that was the wrong person. Try it. You'll love it. Won't you have one? Just one cup. Okay, the purple pony gave in. One Applenade, please. That'll be 3 bits. Sorry. God damn it, these voices are getting shit. Okay, Apple Bloom smiled, her eyes bigger than ever. Twilight handed over the bits, and Sweetie Belle pushed a plastic cup over the wooden counter towards the older mare. As Apple Bloom collected and dispersed the money evenly among the three, Twilight took a look at her order. It was a clear yellow-tinted liquid with a strong scent of fresh apples and a thin green apple slice floating on top. And there was even an added pinch of powdered sugar on the top of the fruit slice, for the final touch, of course. She hesitantly lifted the cup and took a gulp. Twilight tasted a certain apple spice tickle the sides of her mouth, while the near supersaturated amounts of sugar burned her throat. Despite the excess sugar, she expected much worse from the drink. Then she nearly lost it. A terrible bitterness vacuumed all the liquid sweetened spice, leaving a wet powder on her tongue, compelling her to spit it out. She painfully forced the rest down. Although she did not regurgitate, she did show signs of dislike, much to the Crusaders' dismay. What the She stopped in mid-sentence. You don't like it? Apple Bloom looked as like she was about to cry. I knew this was a bad idea anyways, Scootaloo mumbled with sorrow. Let's just face it, we're never gonna get our cutie marks. Sweetie Belle began tearing up. I think that's a typo. This broke Twilight's heart. She couldn't leave them thinking it was terrible. Girls, she began, that was the best drink ever. The Cutie Mark Crusaders became cheerful once again, and jumped with joy. Yeah! Twilight was happy. Have another! Twilight was scared. I can't. The purple pony tried to think of an excuse. Even a Rainbow Dash excuse would do. Oh, that's okay. Apple Bloom softly smiled. You already said you liked it. Just tell every pony how good our Applenades are. Okay? Promise? Damn, my accent sucks for her. Jesus fucking Christ. I promise, but, Twilight's eyes slightly grew. What was in that Applenade? She couldn't recall such a sharp reaction to any beverage she had ever consumed before. Apples? Duh. No, 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 no. No. I mean the other ingredients, the other stuff. It tasted funny. She smacked her lips and squinted her eyes. Apple Bloom looked at her two friends who just shrugged. Well, we just used some water and apple cinnamon spice and other apple spices and some. Shh, Sweetie Belle scolded. We're not supposed to tell. It's a secret ingredient, Scootaloo quickly reacted. Twilight knew that she couldn't force them to tell her. You know, it was the best drink I've ever had in my entire living life forever. As stupid as she sounded, she continued, and it mean so much to me if you could tell me what it was. But if you don't want to, that's fine. Oh well, I guess you don't care about your Auntie Twilight Sparkle enough. I understand. She was acting like a complete rarity. The three younger fillies looked at each other and sighed. You promise you won't tell? Promise. Scootaloo looked at the ground, then provided her beloved auntie. It's sugar. We got it from Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie gave you three sugar? Why did you go to Pinkie Pie? 'Cause Pinkie Pie is the best with sweets, don't you know? Apple Bloom spoke up. Besides, Applejack was mad at me for taking the apples without her consent. Twilight finished for her. Yeah, that. But Pinkie Pie told us not to eat it. Well, why would she tell you that? What? She told you not to eat it? The studious ponies questioned with fear. Why would you let me eat it then? Apple Bloom chuckled a bit. Oh, Twilight, you're funny. The other two fillies began giggling as well. You didn't eat it, Sweetie Belle hopped in. You drank it. There's a difference. Twilight felt her heart beat faster as she could only begin to wonder why, what, and how. Her mind raced and her legs itched. She raised her hoof and scratched at herself. She needed to see Pinkie Pie. She would have all the answers. Twilight, are you okay? I have to go. I need to see Pinkie Pie, the purple pony blurted out feverishly. With no time to lose, she darted off to Sugar Cube's corner. Why would Pinkie Pie say that? Why would she tell them not to eat it? Why am I so itchy? What if it wasn't sugar? Perhaps the alleged sugar was something else, she conversed with herself. I hope she's there. She better be there. Why is every pony looking at me like I'm crazy? Ah! Twilight's eyes grew larger and her legs worked faster as she maniacally sprinted throughout Ponyville. Within minutes, she reached the house of sweets and barged in. Sure enough, Pinkie Pie was laying rainbow frosting on top of another batch of cupcakes. Oh, hi, Twilight. You want to try some of these delicious cupcakes? I made them out of... What did you give them? Huh? What did you give them? You gave Scootaloo, Apple Bloom, and Sweetie Belle something in their drink. What was it? Pinkie Pie stared blankly at her for a few seconds before responding. Oh, it was sugar. I know that, but, well, if you knew that, then why would you ask me? You told them not to eat it. Why? Just tell me. Oh, Pinkie Pie changed her voice. Oh, that's because it's not for them. It was for the customers. Then her tone returned to its former happiness. Have you tried their apple nates? Aren't they great? Twilight was at a loss for words. She felt stupid, Rarity, and couldn't believe she ever doubted her friends of the or the Crusaders. Yeah, she sheepishly agreed. Let's make some cupcakes. Pinkie Pie exploded with excitement. Okay. It was more like okay. I'll get the supplies from the basement. With that, the pink pony bounced down to the lower level of the house. She looked around a bit to make sure nothing was left behind her. After enough examination, she maneuvered to a dark corner of the room, and she opened a heavy sack filled with cocaine. Yeah, I said that right, cocaine. You might have seen that coming, but you know. She brushed her hoof across the fine white powder with stupor and scooped onto some onto her hoof. Soon, my friend. She lifted the powder up and snorted up. Soon. That's it for this kind of creepy story. Sorry it was so short. I've been a little sick over the weekend, and I didn't really have time to pick a lengthy one. So I'll get you guys next week for a longer, more elaborate one, maybe with a few chapters, a couple parts. I'll put it over the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So until then, have a great week, and I hope you had a great weekend, and The episode was amazing. I hope you enjoyed it too, and Bronies Unite!